In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 demon slayers with enhanced senses. Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Syphon back at it again. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the different types of senses, the different abilities that come with it, and some overall facts of the people we're going to be talking about in the anime Demon Slayer. So we're going to be including some of the parts of the manga itself, so I'm going to be trying not to spoil as much of the plot as possible in order to explain their abilities. So what do I mean by heightened senses? So basically this means a naturally heightened ability of the 5 senses in a higher level demon slayer. These abilities seem to correlate with something that you're actually born with or something that you can adapt to in yourself due to your environment. The cool thing about these sensory abilities is that you can actually train and develop them into something greater. An example of this is when Tanjiro was first introduced to us as the main character. He was actually able to smell the small traps laid by his master. Then later on throughout the anime, he's actually able to smell an opening in an opponent's defense, which is called an open thread, which allows him to finish off the demon. So now that we've talked about enhanced senses and what it actually is, we're going to be talking about the 5 different senses and one character from Demon Slayer which has this ability. This is going to be an official spoiler warning because I will be mentioning parts of the manga in order to finish this 5 sense video, but I will try my best to not include any of the plot. So for our first sense enhancement, we're going to be talking about the ability of sound. So in this case, we're going to be talking about the character Tengen Uze. This character, Demon Slayer, is a former Hashira, which is known to be the fastest runner there is. He's also quite exceptional in his ability of strength, and with it, his use of combat. So let's talk about what we know about his ability. So his first ability is echolocation, which does have to do with sound. So this basically allows him to hear and sense the noises coming from buildings or underground. He can also tell the spatial location of humans, animals, and demons in buildings, which seems to come very handy in his attempt to exterminate all demons. Tengen also has this ability called musical score. So this uses sound breathing technique as well as his innate hearing ability to analyze the opponent's movements, which he can recognize as a rhythm or pattern in which he can safely assume their next move. With all that being said, let's move on to our next subject, which is touch. In this sense category, I decided to touch up on Inosuke Hashibira. Some things that we know about him is that he uses animal mimicry, in which he runs on all fours and recreates the animal instinct in which he's used to being around. Inosuke is also known for his superhuman strength, considering he can hold 2 Nichi swords at once, creating a slice that meets in the middle. Now for his sensing ability. So his ability includes enhanced spatial awareness, which allows for him to tell if someone's watching him. This ability can also help him feel malice and intent, as well as keen strength level of every demon. Though every demon slayer tends to have one of these abilities to be able to tell the power level of a demon, Inosuke's has been known to be very accurate early on throughout the anime as well as the manga, even before he was able to work on his ability. Not to mention the fact that he could tell if any demon or people are nearby him simply by stopping himself and feeling the earth. Moving on to the sense of smell, we have Tanjiro Kamado. Here are some of the things that we know about him. He has an extreme willpower to win. He tends to have a natural knack for combat, and funny enough has one of the strongest heads throughout the series, since he's seen to headbutt demons and people alike. So let's talk about Tanjiro's smelling ability. So it can actually be used to find people in the area, kind of similar to a tracking dog. He's able to locate humans and demons as well as blood. In the beginning of the video, we also mentioned something called open thread, which is Tanjiro's special ability used to find an opening during combat. The crazy part about this is that it actually stems from his smelling ability, which is why he's one of the only characters who actually has this. With this ability, Tanjiro can actually tell the intentions, thoughts, and feelings of all living creatures, including humans. Something else that's worth mentioning is that later on in the manga, towards the end, he actually gains the ability to smell a certain amount of moves in the future. Moving on to our next sense, taste. For this category, I'm going to be presenting Genya Shinezigawa. Some things that we should know about this character is that this character can actually use a blood art. Yes, that's correct. That's something only demons can use, but I'm going to be explaining exactly why he can use that in a second. Something else to note about Genya is that he actually can't use a breathing technique. He uses this thing called repetitive action, in which he makes himself repeat a certain word or phrase in order to help him focus. One more interesting to note is that he actually starts to use a shotgun instead of his Nichi sword at the end of the manga. So let's get to the part that we've all been waiting for, his ability with taste. This is actually one of my favorite abilities throughout the Demon Slayer manga and anime, simply because Genya can actually absorb the abilities from demons he tastes temporarily. If the demon he tastes is strong enough, he can actually gain the ability to regenerate and have a similar strength level to a demon. After tasting one of the upper 4 ranked demons, he's actually able to gain his own blood art ability, which I won't be spoiling in this video, but I will be making a note of it. And on to our last sensing category, sight. In this category, I decided to use Kanao Tsuyuri since I think she'll be a great example. Some of the things we know about her are her exceptional ability that coincide with the strength of a Hashira. She's also one of the few skilled with this special breathing technique called flower breathing. She actually learned this breathing technique solely by watching Kane Kocho, which is basically her master or big sister. And finally, her ability of sight. This ability of hers can accurately predict her opponent's movements opponents simply by analyzing the movement of their joints, muscles, and different ligaments of their body, which can give her an accurate prediction as to where she can counterattack as well as defend better. The highest point of this ability is actually called the vermilion eye. This pushes Kane's eye to exceed its limits in order to see the world and perceive it in a certain way. Not only does it do this, but it also helps her perceive the world in slow motion. This can be useful when she's up against very fast opponents. The drawback of using this vermilion eye is that she has the potential to become partially blind if she overstrains her eye. But hey, that's all I can come up with. Let me know if you guys have anything to add to this video or if anything I missed so I can add it in a future updated video. That's basically it, guys. Have a great day. Peace.